one game away. Blow up. We're playing for something, man. We're playing for something. It's gotta mean something to you. It gotta mean something. Everything you got. Let's finish this.
Do it, fellas.
Let's go.
Let's do it, fellas.
Finish 2 3. 1 2 3.
You ready to make history? Come on now. Yeah. You know there's these two words. And when I say them, people get goosebumps cause they know what happens next. So without further ado,
Free smoke.
look. Scared cause I'm drowning in silence with bad thoughts. These days I don't have nothing to say, man, the bag talks. I put in headphones on my driver. Pull up to the spot and give a good dick and Godiva. I can't lie, I'm uninspired. No more pillow talking about nonsense. I only stick around to put some band-aids on my conscience. I don't know why I feel so bad, nigga. That's what we do, no foundation. We don't build no more, we just screw. Half a bottle of Henny, girl, I'm going with the wind. The same niggas say they happy for me, ain't want me to win. So I'm done on my friends. Don't need help popping Coronas and reminiscing. I just call up Big Bro J and say it's time for venting. If I live forever, I hold this hate for some centuries. You don't know how much I have you doing what it meant to me, but motherfuck all that. I don't even offer up the time to make the call back. Stupid Lodo, if they don't get the picture now, man, I crop them out of the photo. I can't relate to my peers. Been doing this shit for years. I'm motivated by fears. I took the wheel and I steer. My sound not dictated by fuck boys in Atlanta. Stay gifted like this album was ghost written by Santa. Boss forever like they decided to throw me under slammer. Every song's a hit like they picture me underhanders. I could drop 1,000,000 songs, but they never gon' understand us. Soapbox sermons for niggas never giving chances. Fight our whole lives to get these weak ass advances. Work twice as hard for the shit that they getting handed. And this ain't even nothing we chose, nigga, we branded. Still can't tell why all of these niggas mad at me. I'm trying to get 100 so I can put my team on salary. Give it all to the art, man, I turn my life to a gallery. Man, damn, what a fucked up masterpiece. 1,100 shots and I swear, man, I felt them all. If we ain't even good on our blocks, man, who can we call? Pre-decline state of mind, we broke crabs in the barrel. Got us fighting our folk, man, this shit just a life of peril.
Winning has a price. And leadership has a price.
Yo, welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Kicking It with Saint. NBA edition, yo. We got to talk about the playoffs. I know I haven't been dropping continuous shows about the playoffs. I should be back on track, keeping up with the second round. I just really wasn't that interested in the first round. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Aside from all the other stuff that I had going on, if you watch me, or if you this might be your first time checking out a show. I like the NBA. I used to love the NBA. The NBA. I watch it. But I'm just not, it's like, I'll sit there and watch it and I'm like, I can make a show talking about this, but I don't really want to, you know? The NBA don't really get me up and going. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. At least not this first round, because it was not a great first round. Not a great first round at all. But listen, before we get into that, how's everybody doing out there, man? I hope everybody had a dope day. Dope afternoon, evening, or night. Had to take a sip of drink, bro. Apple juice. Apple juice, the juice of the gods. The drink of choice by the gods. You cannot convince me otherwise. Let's move on. Listen, I might have told y'all this before. I don't think I have. I could have, but I don't remember telling you this. So if I have told you this, you hearing it again for the first time. And if you're new to the show, you haven't heard this. So listen, but you might have known what I'm finna say. You might have already known this fact that I'm about to say. Listen, I was listening. I was on YouTube the other day and I was just listening to videos, like music video. I was just letting it play in the background while I was on MLB The Show. Mind you, boy, I done had a couple. Boy, I went on a 3-game losing streak on MLB The Show, and then I turned around and went on a 4-game winning streak. The 3-game losing streak was crazy, though, because I didn't really get my ass. Well, I don't really get my ass beat in no game on MLB The Show right now. Actually, I think I got blown out one game. No. So one game that I lost, the first game that I lost on that 3-game, man, I'll get to that later. But listen, I was playing MLB The Show, and I had music playing in the background. And out of nowhere, a Paula Abdul song came on. I think that's her name. Hold up, bro. Cause I can't remember if that's really how you pronounce her name. Paula Abdul. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Yeah, Paula Abdul. A song by her came on in the background. Opposites Attract. You know, it ain't nothing, just a natural thing. If you ever played that game Saints Row, I think it's the third. One of the songs in one of the missions had her playing that. I can't remember Buddy's name who was with you on that mission, but that song was playing in the background. That's when I first heard it. Opposites Attract. It's a pretty tough song, bro. And the video kind of fire. But another song came on right after that. And it was a Paula Abdul song. And in the video, as I'm listening to this in the background, I hear, straight up, now tell me, do you really want to love me forever? Ow, ow, ow. I was like, wait a minute. And cause matter of fact, I heard it the first time, but I don't think I really had caught it like that. And then she did it again, and I'm like, wait a minute. I said, that's where J. Cole got that shit from. Yo, you listen to enough music, man, you're going to start hearing everything. Now, listen, there's probably people out there who already knew he sampled that Paula Abdul song. I wish I knew the name of that song. Hold up, bro. I'm going to look it up for you. Shout out to Paula Abdul. Because that song is a fucking banger. I'm not going to lie to you. Straight up, now tell me, do you really want to love me forever? Yeah, it's called Straight Up. Straight up, not that. Bro, I like the way she sing that shit. And she doing the dance in the video. The shit is hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. Super hard. Pause. Shit is fire. You gotta check it out. You gotta check it out. Paula Abdul, Straight Up. And if you somehow have never heard the song Work Out by J. Cole, work out for me, work out. Now we got a good thing. Don't know if I'ma say you again. Ow, 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 ow. If you ain't never heard that, that's crazy. But go check that out. Nas hating ass was hating on that shit, bro. So J. Cole then proceeded to make Let Nas Down. And then they got into this whole thing where they finally, whatever, bro. Nas has always to me been a hater for hating that track, bro. How the fuck do you hate Workout, bro? That shit is fire. Straight up, now tell me, do you really want to love me forever? Ow, ow, ow. Or is it just a hit and run? Well, straight up, I tell you, I just really want to cut with we together. Ow, ow, ow. Come here, girl. Come on, bro. How the fuck do you hate that? How? That's crazy. Like, how could you hate Paula Abdul's Straight Up, Not There, but do you really want to love me forever? Ow, ow, ow. Bro, it's all bangers, yo. It's all bangers. But check me out. That's a true sample to me. That song by Jason Derulo, What You See, that song right there. That's also a sample, not from a Paula Abdul song, from this other woman. I can't remember her name or the name of the song at the moment. I'm not going to look it up because I couldn't tell you. I couldn't even begin to remember that woman's name. But my problem is, what is the true definition of a sample? Because I understand what the true definition of a sample is, but when do we draw certain lines? Because he took that look, like, bro, she said, what you said, but she didn't say it the way he said it, but she said it, but it was like halfway or almost through the song. That's when she said it, but it wasn't like a repeated line throughout her song. So is that really a sample, my guy? You know what I'm saying? It's like the Wheezy line that everybody use all the time. What's the line? I can't think of it right at the moment, but you know what I'm talking about, bro. Like every fucking rapper use the same line, but it's most popular because we heard Wheezy say it, even though people probably said it before he said it. But nonetheless, I'm just saying that Jason Derulo song is that who sang that? Yeah, I think that's Jason Derulo. Bro, you know who kind of a fire artist that people don't really think about, and maybe I'm tripping. Flow Rider, Mr. Florida. Can you blow my whistle, baby? Whistle, baby. Here we go. Da-da-da-da-da-da. somebody who could whistle would hit the whistle right there, but I can't whistle, bro. And I'm not even finna waste my time. All right? Not finna waste my time. But he got Whistle. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of apple bottom jeans, but that was a banger. So I got the apple bottom jeans, boop, with the bird, with the bird. Matter of fact, that shit is a banger. Then he got the whole club looking at. Bro, then he got, get on. He got that elevator song, bro. And then he got them other bro. Flo Rida got some bangers, bro. Cause he got that other, he got that See My Sad song, bro. Cause that shit hard too. I'm not gonna lie. What is that shit called? It's, I was talking about this shit the other day. What is the name? Oh, and y'all know he got that. Oh, sometimes I get to feel it. Yeah. I get the feeling that I never. That shit's a banger too. I don't think we be giving artists credit. We try to put every artist in the same box. Oh, they gotta be lyrical. Oh, they gotta be this. Oh, they gotta be that. Bro, just appreciate great music, bro. I am cultured, my guy. I like, yes, one of my favorite artists all time is, Hove. Like, period. Out of any genre. However, bro, my second favorite artist probably ain't even a rapper. Well, it is. It's J. Cole. But after that, I go everywhere. But I'm not trying to put everybody I listen to in the box that I put J. Cole or Hove in. Or when I I haven't listened to Kanye in God knows how long. But I listen to so many different artists, bro. So I can appreciate every artist for their music, bro. Like, everybody ain't gotta be Kendrick or Drake or Cole. Like, I think this beef between them two is goofy also. I just want to put that out there. And then he got that song. Well, how did that shit go, man? Hey, I heard you were a wild one. That shit's a banger too. And then I know he got my, I can't think of, it always take me a while to remember how all them shits, start. I know he had that song Low too, but I can't remember how that shit go either. I just remember the name. Oh, the one that's in my head, got up in the middle, I cried just a little when I think of letting go. That's my shit. Yo. Y'all wildin' if y'all don't like this motherfucker Flo Rida, bro. And he won that case against, I think it was Celsius or something like that. So he won millions, or probably close to $1 billion. I think it was like a whole bunch of millions actually. Not to mention he got, they was playing his music in the courtroom, bro. Listen. You can say what you want to about Flo Rida. Oh, he ain't Kanye. Oh, he ain't Jay-Z. Oh, he ain't Drake, Cole, Kendrick. He don't need to be. Motherfucker made a lot of money being motherfucking Flo Rida. And I appreciate him for it, man. Wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy. No Diddy. So, let's get into some playoff basketball. Mercifully, some of these first round matchups have ended. Notably the Pelicans and Thunder. That happened to be a sweep. Thank God. That was probably one of the bigger mismatches in the first round that nobody really thought about because everybody wanted to say OKC young, OKC put their foot in the Pelicans' ass. Okay? I don't think none of them games was really that close. If any of them were, it really wasn't close in our minds. For one, the first game of this series to open up the series, the Pelicans, OKC couldn't miss a shot. It is something about OKC, the way they let OKC defend people. It is kind of irritating. Brandon Ingram don't get star treatment, so they allow Dort and other guys to defend him a certain type of way. If Brandon Ingram played for a different team that had a team built around trying to get Brandon Ingram to his apex, he would get calls and you would not be able to defend him the way that they allowed to defend him. And he coming back off an injury and he didn't have Zion Williamson there with him. And people can continue to praise CJ McCollum all they want to, but I continue to say he is an overrated player in my opinion. He is not a point guard. He do not run the show. I say that multiple times. Just because you get a couple assists and they put you at the point guard spot, that does not make you a point guard. And to me, he is not the prolific scorer like a Steph Curry or a Ja Morant that can, mind you, Ja and Steph are still point guards also, but I'm looking at how they score and change the impact of a game. But they also know how to slow the game down, speed it up, yada, yada, yada. I don't see that in CJ McCollum. To me, CJ McCollum is an undersized 2 guard who is not as consistent shooting the 3 as you would like him to be at times, especially in big games. Not to mention, he is not a good defender. And yeah, he can get to the rim here or there, but that's not something that you would say, like, when you first think of CJ McCollum, you're not like, oh, he great at getting to the rim and finishing. So it's like I always said, Portland was wild for thinking that a team with Dame and CJ as your best 2 players was winning a championship. That was never going to happen. When Golden State used to spank their ass in the whatever round they would play him in, bruh, that was proof. That should have told you how far apart they were from an actual championship contending team. And don't say, well, Golden State had KD. They have never lost a series against Portland in the playoffs. They've barely ever beaten Steph Curry when they play him. It don't matter if they got KD, don't got KD, got KD. It don't matter. They got each other, and y'all always told me that was supposed to be enough. Clearly it wasn't when they played against great teams, such as Steph Curry and the Warriors. Also, both of them boys got sent home in the first round. So technically, it's almost like they still together. Because both of them can... I don't like the Cancun joke, kind of corny, I ain't gonna lie. I like Chuck's new thing, Galveston. Galveston Beach. That's the new one. But listen, the Pelicans got to find a way. You know, one of the biggest problems for some of these teams is health of their best player. Specifically talking about Joel Embiid, and I'm going to get to them in a couple. But Zion Williamson looked to have it going, then he hurt his hamstring or whatever and ain't played since that play-in game. And so if you the Pelicans, you lose. Because I'm not going to lie to you. If Zion play, the Pelicans probably get 2 games. If not, go to 7 games in this series. Because Zion completely changes things the way he was playing. When you lose Zion Williamson, that changes things. They don't have to defend you a certain type of way now. They know Brandon Ingram, your best player, so they're going to defend him a certain type of way. They can, and they did a great job. Based off of how they was allowed to defend Brandon Ingram, they did a great job. He never got it going in this series, whether it be because of the defense coming back from injury. I will always say this team is not built for Brandon Ingram to be successful. I don't even think this team is really built for Zion to be successful, to be completely honest with you, because the pieces that they have around, if you take Zion off of this team, you cannot say this team is built around Brandon Ingram. You take Brandon Ingram off this team, you can't say this team is built around Zion Williamson. I think this is poor roster construction either way, but it's great coaching. And you play in an NBA season where Brandon Ingram and Zion going to outplay a lot of different duos because they are great scorers and players. However, when you get to a playoff series, you start to play against great teams for the most part. And I just don't think that the collection of players, like I said, I done thought CJ McCollum was overrated. And that's not me saying CJ not good. That's just me saying I don't think he is as great as other people has labeled as other people has labeled CJ McCollum. That's just me. The Pelicans got to hope Zion stay healthy. I think they need to trade Brandon Ingram and actually build around Zion, or trade Zion and actually build around Brandon Ingram. Something got to happen because you can't keep marching this same team into the season every year. Because I just don't think it's it's 2 teams that I don't think that's, and it could be more when I start talking about more teams. But off the top of my head, I don't like the way the Cavaliers or the Pelicans is built. And you can make an argument both teams got 2 great players. But I don't like the way neither of them 2 teams is built. Because the Pelicans is, like I just said, they not built around Zion and they not built around B.I. And the Cleveland Cavaliers, to me, is not built around either Garland or Donovan Mitchell. Like, you can't take one of the two off the team and then look at all the parts around and say, yeah, this is what you want all around Donovan Mitchell for him to be at his best. Or if this is everything you would want around Darius Garland for him to be at his best. I just don't think that you could say that about either of them two teams. And Cleveland is especially weird to me because they got a lot of big men, a lot of guards. I think Cleveland just got a lot of players who you don't normally see on teams like that's trying to compete for. Cleveland is just a weird built team, as is the Pelicans. Now the Pelicans have talented players throughout they got players who would be on other teams playing also, but I just think they collection of players, and specifically not even I don't think the teams is built properly, but the biggest point being neither of your stars is benefiting to me and hitting their apexes from playing with the collection of talent that they have around them. But that's just me. So in the offseason, I think the Pelicans need to address that, because maybe it's because they haven't known what Zion is. He going to play? Is he not going to play? Is he hurt? Is he not hurt? So they haven't really leaned heavily into building a proper team around this. Like the GM, what's his name, bro? He used to be the GM in Cleveland, I believe it was. The GM for the Pelicans, to me, he might be a little over his skis at this point, bro, because I just don't understand what he is doing to build this roster. This team need a legitimate point guard. Like, they need a legit point guard that can run the show, much like the Phoenix Suns. Now, the Phoenix Suns argument was, we don't want to take the ball out of KD, Booker, and Bill's hands, even though they didn't know how to put an offense around those three to benefit when those three did touch the ball. The Pelicans don't have three scorers on the level of a KD, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal. As great as Ingram and Zion are, they haven't hit those scoring numbers that those three have. So it don't even make sense that you would say we don't want to have a point guard because we don't want to take the ball out of those two dudes' hands. If anything, you should want a Chris Paul type of guard to try to get the most out of those two type of players, because he done been shown to get the most out of players he around when he was a starter. So I don't really understand the team building tactics or techniques right now going on in Cleveland. I'm gonna be completely honest. I mean, not Cleveland, in New Orleans. And I understand people can give them a lot of Zion related excuses, but to me personally, you done had a couple years now where you traded for Brandon Ingram. You traded for Lonzo also, I believe, in that trade. You just ended up losing him to, you didn't re-sign him or whatever. You didn't bring back Josh Hart, or I can't even remember how all our Lakers at this point, it's been so long. Regardless, I think it's time to move on from Brandon Ingram, bro. I think you need to trade him to a team that can actually build around him and actually need him to be the focal point of the offense, because Zion is clearly who you want to be the face of your franchise. That's who, even though he don't stay healthy, this was the healthiest he's been in his career to this point. So you hope going forward it get better for him. But I just don't understand the team building in New Orleans, bro. And so I'm not shocked that they got their asses smacked left and right in a 4-game sweep by the Oklahoma City Thunder. Because when you look at Oklahoma City, they play, for one, the ball movement. That's one thing you're going to see from a lot of different teams. Ball movement for some of these teams, the ball don't get stuck in one person's hand. And then when it does, it's very rare that's not the offense. It's just getting stuck in that person. He got to make a play. So sometimes Shea might have to hold on to the ball a couple to make a play. That's normal. He the best player on the team. We consider him a top player in the league. He got that right. But for the most part, they play team ball. The ball always moving. That's why somebody like Dort can end up having a big time shooting night, because he open all night. Nobody can get to him, or Giddey, or Chet Holmgren. I just think, and the coach, they got the coach of the year also. I think OKC is a great team. I'm very interested to see how they play in the second round against the team that they're about to play next. But moving on from, because I'm gonna blow through some of these quick because there's bigger key talking points that I want to hit on, and one of those talking points is about to be the Phoenix Suns. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna wait for Phoenix real quick because we already know who OKC gonna play in the next round. OKC is about to play Luka and the Mavs in the next round because Luka and the Mavs just beat the Clippers. At this point, I don't know why anybody, two things. I don't know why any team would go big on Kawhi Leonard because he done missed every single playoffs basically since he done been in LA with the Clippers. I don't think he done been a part of a single complete playoff run where he did not go down with injury in any of his playoff runs to this point with the Clippers. And I don't understand why Kawhi at this point, like, I don't understand what his motivation to come back would be if every year gonna end in injury because how frail or fragile his body is at this point. Like, it really feel like he fighting a losing battle at this point. Like, his body cannot give him, since Toronto, his body haven't given him 1 year. And if he can get through a year, he gonna have to sit out for the majority of that year. So he gonna have to play like 50 something games if he want to make it to the playoffs healthy. And that's not even guaranteed that he could get through a playoff run healthy. So I really feel bad for Kawhi Leonard. This is why I always got irritated when people kept trying to say he was load managing and yada, yada, yada. Bro, if this man could really play, he would. Y'all think he just faking all these injuries throughout his career, missing big moments because of fake injuries? Like, yeah. Bro, my aunt just broke her ankle and it was twisted the opposite way. She fell down some steps. Obviously, in the moment, it hurt and whatnot. But the rehab and the lingering effects of that's going to hurt too. That's going to make her not trust her ankle. She normal. Kawhi Leonard is a pro athlete. He deal with far more injuries. You don't think all them lingering injuries and all the after effects of these injuries don't affect this man? I just don't understand this game that people was playing where Kawhi faking injuries or Kawhi just load managing and yada, yada, yada. Like, bro, how many times this man's season got to be ended due to injury for y'all to believe that he really just be fucking hurt? And if you put that much money and invest that much money into a player, would you not load manage him also to try to get him to the finish line? Because when he play, one of the best players in the league. Now, one thing with the Clippers that I don't understand, I do believe that Ty Lue is a good coach. I think he is a bit overrated because I don't understand his game plans and whatnot when it comes to this team sometimes. But I'm not going to put it all on Ty Lue. See, this is what confuses me. James Harden destroyed Luka in one game because Luka is a turnstile on defense, bro. He don't even try. I mean, they ran the same fucking play in the fourth quarter every play, and James Harden got right past him for the same little floater. It reminded me of Trae Young in the playoffs a couple years ago. I can't remember exactly what team it was against, but it's when they made that deep run that year. And late in one of the fourth quarters, he just kept getting to the middle, hitting the same floater every time to get him back in the game and eventually win it. I think it was against the Knicks, as a matter of fact. But he just a turnstile on defense. But you look at how, to me, until the Clippers employ, this is a problem, bro. If these great players don't want to be put in a legitimate offensive system, I just don't know how you're going to beat some of these teams that do play in a better offensive system. Like, at the end of the day, it's James Harden dribbling a lot to try to make a play or get his own shot. Or it's Paul George dribbling a lot to get his own shot. It's not really, or they just feeding Zubac because they got that advantage. It's not really a game plan that's set up for a whole bunch of other players to be successful. It's not an offense where everybody going to the game knowing immediately what they're going to be able to contribute that game. They just basically saying, this is what I hope to do this game. The only people who really know what they're doing going into a game is Paul George and Harden because of the touches. And so the Clippers, to me, is also a team that I don't really think that's the greatest put together roster. Like, I don't really necessarily believe that you want Russ coming off the bench as your main point guard because of his lack of shooting ability. I would prefer a shooter coming off of the bench at my point guard spot. Which is the next problem of Russ being, I really think that, I mean, I don't mind James Harden being a starter, but if he played more like the 2 guard he's supposed to be, then you could have had Russell Westbrook starting at your point guard, because Russ not going to try to shoot anyways. He's going to want to get Paul George, James Harden involved. So if you had an offense that was conducive to that, I think they would have more success rather than trying to hunt shot. Because this is at the end of the day, unless Dallas is just playing terrible defense, which I understand Dallas do that a lot, you really not taking no easy shots. That's the problem. I was thinking about that when I was watching Cleveland yesterday night. Donovan Mitchell and these boys don't get no easy looks because of how horrid this offense is. The scheme, when players, you can really see how bad a scheme is when players are struggling. It's one thing for players to be struggling because they just taking a bunch of contested shots and just not hitting them. It's another thing when they just missing open shots because the scheme is getting them open shots. When you got a bad scheme, not only is they struggling with them getting their own shot, but now they can't get help from the scheme because the scheme was bad in the first place, because the scheme relied on the best player just dribbling it around till he make a play. And so that's when coaching got to come into play. So at some point in time, the Clippers cannot just keep winning off of, we got Paul George, we got Harden, we got Westbrook, we got PG, we got a bigger collection of talent than everybody else, so we supposed to win. No, bro. If you put their roster beside the Mavs, most people would say they got the more talented roster. But that don't mean shit in the NBA at times, because the Dallas Mavericks play a more team-oriented style of play. Now, I understand the ball can get stuck in Luka's hand a lot. However, Luka do set players up in a better fashion than the Clippers do. Kyrie play a better brand. Kyrie done become a better point guard late in his career. Because you don't know what's going to happen with Kyrie. You don't know if he's going to be able to penetrate and get somebody an easy look. You don't know if he's going to the lane to finish. You don't know if he's going to go around to try to hit something off of like maybe a pick and roll, or find Luka on a cut, or find somebody else on a cut. Like the Dallas Mavericks, Jason Kidd, and no shocker, they got a great point guard as their head coach. Jason Kidd, I'm not telling you he run the greatest offense of all time, but the offense that he do run, it get these dudes easier looks, and it's about them knocking those shots down. On top of that, Luka get these guys looks. Now, I understand Luka can become irritating to watch at times. And at times, if Luka go into a game and decide he's going to take a bunch of shots and whatnot, that can throw all the other guys off. But for the most part, that's not what Luka do no more. So when you watch Dallas this year, most of the time when their offense is struggling, it's because everybody's struggling. It's not because all the offense look bad. It's because dudes is missing shots. Or maybe they playing against a great defensive team, but it's very hard to slow down Dallas because Kyrie and Luka can run the offense. And they are both big shot makers, clutch shot makers, big shot takers, and they can turn down shots. And that's another thing. Kyrie can turn down a shot and reposition himself to get a better look. Bro, I'm just telling you, Dallas is a far better. They might not have the bigger collection of talent, but I think Luka is the best player in the series. Like, I would take Luka over Kawhi, PG, all of them. The next best player in the series, most people would probably go with Kyrie. To me, it's a toss-up between Kyrie and PG, because PG is not the same defender he was in his prime, but PG is still a damn good defender. I think a lot of the problems that people seeing with PG is him playing in the lack of an offensive scheme. If he went to Golden State and was put in an actual offense, PG would look way better because he would take so many more easy shots. He wouldn't have to continuously dance around and create his own looks all the time. He would be able to just catch and shoot some of these shots, or he would have far less oppositions on him on defense because he got a Steph Curry with him. Right now, I think the biggest problem for Paul George is just a lot of shit is tough for him because, listen, James Harden is still a good player, but he ain't the same player he used to be, so he don't demand the same defensive attention. A lot of people sag off for Russell Westbrook, so when you really, and Kawhi not there a lot, and PG done had his injuries there, so to me, if you the Clippers, you moving into a new arena next year, you starting fresh. I don't mind keeping Ty Lue, even though I don't think he is. I don't mind keeping Ty Lue. But I do believe it's time to part ways and try to make a trade with one of these superstars. And I just don't know if is Kawhi got any value, because I don't know what team look at Kawhi and say he gonna stay healthy. I don't know which one say that. And he only getting older, so none of this is getting any better on his body. So that's the interesting one for you. But OKC and Dallas is the next. That's round 2 in the West. That's one of the matchups in the next round. And that's going to be an interesting matchup because OKC get a lot of fouls. Dallas get a lot of fouls. I think I'm going to go with Dallas for the simple reason he's good as. So what I said earlier about Brandon Ingram, if he played for a different team where he was the main guy and was able to showcase his skills on a nightly basis and the league knew he was one of them guys, he would get calls that Luka and them boys are about to get against OKC. OKC is not going to be able to employ Dort on Kyrie and Luka the way they employ him on Brandon Ingram and basically let him play football. They're not going to be able to play defense on Luka and Kyrie the way they just play defense on Brandon Ingram. It's not going to happen. Because both Luka and Kyrie are going to get the whistle. They're going to get fouls called. So you're not going to be able to just go crazy against those two. It's not going to happen. So now coaching going to come into play. You're going to have to find ways to really slow these two down. And I think this got the potential to go to 7 games, but I also think it could be a potential to end early for Dallas. Like they could win it early because I still do believe as good as Shea is, Luka and Kyrie are to me. Now you might think Shea is better than Kyrie, but he ain't a bigger shot maker than Kyrie. He not the better shooter than Kyrie. He not the better finisher than Kyrie. Like you think he better because of his youth and what he can do defensively. But offensively, Shea don't do shit better than Kyrie. Respectfully. So, and Shea get the whistle. Shea get fouls called for him. A lot of people be complaining about Shea and how he you can't defend him because of how they give him the whistle. Anthony Edwards was talking about it once. But to me, what this gonna end up coming down to is which team can create the easier looks for their superstars and the others. Because both teams play good team ball. So it's going to be about which teams show up for which team. Because it's going to be open looks in this series. Especially for Dallas. Dallas going to give up some open looks. But the thing that Dallas got, they always know they got that equalizer, bro. They was down 30 against the Clippers and came back and damn near won that game. And then didn't look back, didn't lose another game after they lost that one. They looked at that game and said, man, we finna beat these boys. And that's exactly what they did. You gotta respect it. So I'm taking Dallas and the Mavericks, bro. I love what I'm seeing from Kyrie and Luka, bro. Jason Kidd is a great head coach. I done always thought that. I never understood why he got the. You can make the argument without Jason Kidd, Giannis don't become what he became. Like Jason Kidd played a huge part in Giannis's development. Jason Kidd was a huge part of that Laker team that won in the bubble. And Jason Kidd done been great with Dallas. So, and to me, it's all about, I always say this, how good do you look the next year, and then the next year, and then the next year, based off of the talent that's at your disposal? And do your team look like they a team every year when they have retained most of the same pieces? So if you retain the same pieces, you can't have from a year to year basis your team still looking confused, not knowing what they're gonna do. You gotta, at some point in time, these players gotta know where everybody gonna be. And that's exactly what it looked like for Jason Kidd and his team. So I think Jason Kidd is a great head coach. So I'm taking Jason Kidd and them boys. I'm taking Dallas. Now, next thing I want to talk about. See, this is an interesting one. This is why this could end up being a 2-part show. Yeah, I'm probably do the Eastern Conference in a different video and on a different show. But who do I want to hit on first? KD or LeBron? We'll do KD first. Did them boys get? Yes. Phoenix got swept. KD ain't made it past the first round, but once, I think they said, since he left Golden State. And I said it before, man. When you look at Phoenix play, not only do they not have a good team, they don't got a good roster. They missing so many pieces that they need on this team. Like, they need a better center. They need a point guard, because Devin Booker and Beal running the point, taking turns running the point, is not working. And even if they had a great point guard, you got 3 dudes who, Devin Booker, I believe, could play without the ball in his hand. However, not for an entire game, because even with Chris Paul helping him become a better player, he still was able to ISO a lot. KD, I know, can play without the ball in his hand, but he done complained about that style of play. So he want the ball in his hand. He believed that at the end of the day, the ball need to be in the player's hands, or in his hands, just ISOing it. So KD need the ball in his hand, or want the ball in his hand, as does Devin Booker, and as does Bradley Beal, who we talk about. KD done played with great players, and as has Devin Booker, where they had to give up the ball. When was the last time John Wall was healthy? It's been that long. Bradley Beal ain't played with nobody basically since John Wall's last healthy season, where he had to defer to anybody. All he know how to do is play Bradley Beal ball. He ain't had to play team ball or true team ball where he had to rely on other people get a ball up. He always was going to take the last shot, even if it was a bad shot. He was always going to be the focal point of the offense. So I just don't know if this collection of talent would have ever worked, to be completely honest, because what Bradley Beal would have to become for this team to work is a spot-up shooter. Somebody who run the floor on offense when they on fast breaks and shit like that, but he can't be a dude who you get a ball to and let him ISO out. Because there's offense, you can't have KD and Devin Booker just standing around in the corner. So, and then you got all your money tied up into these 3 dudes. So you got dudes who don't even get paid good money. So why would they be working that much harder than a guy who is making great money, or a dude who know he finna make great money? You got journeymen, spare parts and things like that. No disrespect to these players, but I just don't like the way Phoenix built either. They gave up a lot of great pieces to get Kevin Durant, and maybe Kevin Durant is not what you needed. And then you gave up a lot to get Bradley Beal, and that definitely ain't what you needed. I think this is a problem of not understanding how to build a team, or not understanding after you lose, not really understanding what you needed after that loss. Like, I think Phoenix and the coaching staff of Phoenix, Monty Williams, was so enamored with losing in that finals that they didn't understand how to build this team to a championship contender after that. And I understand Chris Paul's injuries don't help, but and seeing Devin Booker become the player he became, I don't think they properly understood how to get better after those years, because I think you can make an argument it's damn near been a regression every year since the finals. Ugly playoff exits, and it's done culminated finally in a sweep in the first round. I think one of the biggest problems with Phoenix, aside from because I know a lot of people going to talk about Kevin Durant's legacy and all this other type of shit, but just schematically, like I said, I just don't know if this team ever would work. Even if I give them a great point guard that can run the show and defer and set them up, they still want the ball. They don't want to play that type of offense for a full game. And when you got 3 guys like that, that basically make the point guard null and void. So So I just think you got to end up trading one of these guys. To me, that's the biggest. And then defensively, you're just not good defensively, really. And when you got a dog like AD and that like I could like not AD, AE, but like I just said, when a team can play better than a collection of dudes who just running ISOs and a lot of just figuring it out because we can score points. Look at Anthony Edwards. He didn't always have a great game early. He finished with a 40 piece in one of them games, but look at how they played as a team. When he needed to get the ball and go make plays, he did that. But for the most part, the ball moved around with the Timberwolves. This a team that been playing together for multiple years now, that done figured out how to play together as a team. And AE done figured out how to not only play together as a team, but still be a superstar while being a great team player. And to me, while I did say a lot of that stuff schematically is the problem as to why Phoenix lost, I don't think you can ignore the fact that AD is a better leader and teammate than Kevin Durant. To Kevin Durant's own admission, he don't want to be a team. He think you should just be, he don't want to be a leader. He think you should just be out there and hoop. But that's not the case, bro. And if he don't ever get that through his fucking head, I don't know if he gonna be able to win again. It's easy for Kevin Durant to say to himself, talent is why I won in Golden State. Not Kevin Durant not him saying to himself, Steph took a step back because he was a great leader and understood that I wanted to be the best on the team. Or all these other dudes taking steps back. All he ever got to think about is we had more talent than everybody else, so that's why we won. But every stop since, because if you're a better leader, I mean, look at what Kyrie doing in Dallas. All I'm saying is Kevin Durant ain't played for no bad team since he done left Golden State. And the results done been piss poor ever since he done left Golden State. At what point in time do you really ask yourself, like, bruh, maybe my leadership do have to change if I want to hit the next. Maybe Kevin Durant don't want to win again. Maybe Kevin Durant just want to go out there and hoop. And if it happen, it happen. If it don't, it don't. But he just happy making good money and hooping. But if Kevin Durant want to be known as a top, because I don't think he a top 5 pantheon great at this point, bro. I don't think you can make that argument. Because when he is the main leader of the team, what has the team done? You didn't win before Steph. You haven't won after Steph. Steph won before you, with you, and after you. You can't argue that shit. No, you can't. You couldn't argue it before, but you damn sure can't argue that shit now. It's getting ridiculous. Trying to argue that shit is goofy at this point. I mean, another sweep. You'll be like, well, Steph didn't make the playoffs. Look at who he got on his team and look at who Kevin Durant got on his team. It's night and day. So to me, and mind you, if Kevin Durant was Steph Curry, LeBron James, and they had just got swept with that type of talent around them, do you know how they would get talked about? So I'm looking at Anthony Edwards, a younger player. While I don't like his attitude towards the All-Star game and All-Star weekend in general, right now he is showing up in a big moment. And not just that, because I know everybody like talk about, oh, he was ready to take them boys out and he just yada, yada, yada. Okay. The fact that he understood the assignment in the sense of, bro, he could have went out there every game after he scored a big number and just said, I'm gonna beat Phoenix by myself. He didn't do that. He still went out there and played great team basketball. And that's showing you how great a player he is and a leader he is already. It's just like Ja Morant. These young dudes having this type of playoff success early. Trae Young, y'all be hating on Trae Young, but he done already had a lot of playoff success. Like, these young dudes figuring it out, man. They figuring it out. They don't immediately get it, like, because the old guard is still great. But they taking over. We taking over. Now, what would I do with Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns? Like I said, I think one of them got to get traded. I just don't think having all three of them on the same team works. I don't think it's a head coach in the league that could draw up a scheme that could legitimately get the most out of all three of those dudes at the same time. one of them dudes gonna have to severely take a step back, and that's gonna always be Bradley Beal, because he is not as accomplished as Kevin Durant or Devin Booker. But him being more accomplished than Devin Booker really don't matter, because Devin Booker always gonna be the top of the pecking order because it's his fucking team. He done been with Phoenix his entire career. He will probably be with Phoenix when Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal long gone from the team. He probably will still be down there with Phoenix. So he's going to always be top on the pecking order. But then it's Kevin Durant. So if you Bradley Beal, do you want to play that type of role where you basically only ask to score like 18, maybe 20 points a night, and they asking you to be the third best player to stand in a corner and hit jump shots and whatnot? Be great when we come off the floor. I don't think that's what he's going to want to do. So I don't see a version of this Phoenix team being successful, because I don't see a point guard that could get the most out of all three of these dudes, because these three dudes going to nullify all these a point guard. I don't see a head coach that could get the most out of these three guys, because what the fuck offense could you draw up that could still have all three of these dudes be based off of how they play and how they want to play? I just don't see it. And based off of Kevin Durant just telling you straight up, like, he don't want to be no leader. He don't think that's his job. He think that you just win by being great and talented. Well, Phoenix, you got yourselves a conundrum, and I'm not here to figure it out for you. But I do want to talk about my Lakers. We didn't get swept. We got a gentleman's sweep, Gentleman's sweep. They pulled out the brooms, just the fancy ones. It took a little bit longer to get there, so we snuck them with one. But they got there nonetheless. Not bad. I never expected us to win this series. I simply do not believe that the Lakers play good team ball compared to Denver. And we was winning at the half every single game. Why is that? I mean, it could have something to do with the fact that our great players played great early and gassed out in the second half. To me, the Lakers have a problem with all these fucking excuses, and that's one of my biggest irritants when I think about my team right now. That's why I consistently say this might take a side turn, bro, but this is why I always say I cannot wait till LeBron James is no longer a Laker, bro, so he can take his fucking stands with him, bro, because those are not Laker fans, those are stands. They always need somebody to blame, bro. Always. It can't be that late in these games when we got the lead, LeBron taking dumbass shots or just missing shots, the turnovers, D'Angelo Russell, you never know what you're going to get from him on a game-to-game basis. AD was the only consistent guy the entire series who was great, but also he was consistent in disappearing in the fourth quarter of damn near every game. So, to me, the Laker players never take accountability, and that's one of the biggest problems with this team. On top of that, they bitch about free throws and shit. We get more free throws than every other team in the league. So that argument don't make sense. On top of that, team building. People keep blaming Darvin Ham. I didn't know Darvin Ham was the one out there because you don't blame him or give him any credit when we take big leads on teams. But as soon as we blow those leads because players don't play how they played in that first half, it's on Darvin. Darvin didn't tell LeBron and them boys to vouch for and Rob Pelinka to trade for Russell Westbrook and give up all that talent that you had. They didn't say trade away Caldwell Pope, Kyle Kuzma, and all those pieces that helped you win in the bubble. That was Rob Pelinka. LeBron and AD wanted those moves. Darvin Ham was called in to try to fix it. He got you to a Western Conference Finals, and then you lost in a gentleman's sweep to the current NBA champion, the defending NBA champion. And somehow he lost his job over that. That's disgusting. They always need somebody to blame with these LeBron-led teams. So at this point, who do you hire? Because you just wasn't better than Denver. I love AD, and AD is a great defender. But you talking about defense, bro. Every time Jokic saw you down low, it was a bucket. He looked at you and said, barbecue chicken, my guy. To your credit, he look at every damn body and think barbecue chicken. But everybody don't walk around talking about how great a defender they are and feeling like they got robbed and the NBA don't like me. The NBA gonna think about this series you just had against Jokic. And the fact that basically every time he needed a bucket and needed to go get one, he went and got one right on you. And I get it. He probably the only guy in the league with that type of post game. Doesn't matter. Joel Embiid was bitching about not winning MVP and people been holding him accountable ever since. Well, you won't win MVP so much, but you can't do it in the playoffs. Listen, it's expectations that come along when you say certain things, and I'm not the boss of that. That's just what the internet done, and that's what I was told by the internet. Nonetheless, AD probably was the most consistent player in this series. Not knowing what you're going to get from Austin Reeves on a game-to-game basis. Not knowing what... When D'Angelo is your best point guard, I just think it's hard to compete for a championship because your best point guard cannot be this inconsistent on a championship team. He not good defensively. The Lakers really don't got no good defensive point guards. The Lakers really don't got that many great defensive players. Rui Hachimura, inconsistent. Not knowing what you're going to get from him on a game-to-game basis. I mean, and you expect to go out there and beat a well-oiled machine like Denver. And to be completely honest with you, the only reason the Lakers had this type of success early in games is because of how bad Jamal Murray basically played in every single game, except for probably the last game. That's the only reason we took big leads, because he wasn't, his scoring was not a factor in most of these games to the end, where he hit 2 game winners on us. And I misspoke on 2 players. Jamal Murray and Jalen Brunson, to me, are great players, all-star level point guards. But I do not look at them like I look at like a Ja Morant, a Steph Curry. I don't know if I would take them over Shea yet. Shea pretty much in the same categories. I put all of them over Dame Lillard. I take all of them over Dame Lillard right now. But that's just my disdain for some of the shit that Dame be talking about, bro. But nah, Dame better than them too. Slightly. But that's not why we're here. Listen. I'm naming all them point guards, and you never heard me name D'Angelo Russell. I just want to throw that out there. But listen, right now, you look at the Lakers team, you look at Denver, you look at how Denver play. To me, the worst Denver ever play is when Jamal Murray struggling and trying to shoot his way out of the struggle, so he take a lot of bad shots. Aside from that, when you look at how they run this show, how they get, and Michael Porter had a great series. I mean, their role players doing their, and I don't even know if you call Michael Porter a role player. He the perfect third player. Bradley Beal, in order to be successful with the Suns, he got to play the way Michael Porter play. The problem is, he don't got Michael Porter's attitude towards playing like that. And he don't got a coach that's going to employ that type of system. And your best player is Jokic on the Nuggets. There's no player on Phoenix that play the type of style Jokic plays. And because of how Jokic play, he do allow Jamal Murray to play the way he play. However, that's just one dude who does that, where they get like ISO out a lot. That's one guy. You got 3 guys like that on Phoenix. I'm just pointing out how damn near impossible it is to find success with this Phoenix team, bro. That's all I'm doing. But if I'm the Lakers, I mean, fuck it, bro. At this point, bro, you know where I'm at with the Lakers? I don't give a fuck what the Lakers do, bro. I'm just waiting till LeBron leave. To be honest, since you wanted them to fire Darvin Ham so bad, just hire somebody that LeBron and AD like. And LeBron got 2 years left on his contract, or he gonna re-up for like 2 more years. He said he got like 2 more years in the league. However long LeBron got left, sign the next head coach to that many years, so that him and AD and LeBron can be tied with each other. So when LeBron retire, that coach is fired. And at this point, I would love for Rob Pelinka to be tied with these dudes also. That's pretty much where I'm at with this whole little Lakers shindig during the LeBron James era, bro. That's pretty much where I'm at with it. So, with that being said, we're going to cover the Eastern Conference playoffs next. Sadly, the only fucking series that's not over yet is this Cavaliers-Orlando series. There's been a lot of big shot making at the end of these games for Cleveland. Nobody on Cleveland scored in the fourth quarter last game but Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell had 50 points. They lost that game. Please get my guy the fuck out of Cleveland. With that being said, though, I appreciate y'all for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint. Tell somebody you fuck with him. Tell somebody you love him. You can be anything in the world. Choose to be kind to somebody today. Caitlin Clark balled out in her preseason game. Angel Reese had a damn near double-double in her preseason game. And Camila Cardoso looked good, even though she got shaken up a little bit in her first game also. Shout out to all three of those ladies. Cameron Brink play either tonight or tomorrow night, so we're going to check her out also. With that being said, I fuck with you. I love you. Like, subscribe, share. Saint out.
I got the moves like hot sauce. Lil' mama taking the top off. I'm laying down getting topped off. After this, she know she getting knocked off. I know she loving the money, so I keep on thumbing and thumbing. She say she horny when she taking shots, so I keep them coming and coming. Now I'm putting dick in her tummy. Scoop her up like I'm raking her something. You would think shawty red track, the way that she running and running. You getting dumber and dumber. You out here chasing the bone. After she finished from giving me dome, the Uber is taking her home.